See, that is NBS logo. If you want to go back here, this is NBS logo. Okay. NBS was at the scene. Look at these jackbooted thugs. It's the one who signaled him, hey, we have him. You have these, again, with guns. Look at this. This is a deputy president of the largest opposition political party. If he's going to be abducted by jackbooted thugs, by goons in broad daylight, police being overpowered or actually facilitating the reabduction, we are in a very, very dangerous place.
For Muwanga Kivumbi, we shall give you feedback on this matter when it is appropriate.
When is it appropriate? What do you mean? It is already appropriate. His rights are being violated. Ladies and gentlemen, you remember that during the reabduction of National Unity Platform Deputy President Muwanga Kivumbi more than 2 weeks ago, reporters from my former workplace, NBS Television, were at the scene. And to nobody's surprise, their slogan is NBS always. So they were going to be there always to give you live updates, and they did. And to that I say, chef's kiss. Mwah! You did an amazing job. In the exclusive footage later shared on NBS Television's social media platforms, armed men, Muhoozi and Museveni's jackbooted thugs, can be seen pulling Muwanga Kivumbi from his vehicle and forcing him into a waiting van before driving away. These are vans we usually call, in Uganda we call them drones. Since then, Muwanga Kivumbi has remained incommunicado with his family, lawyers and colleagues, comrades in the struggle, continuing to seek information about his whereabouts. Now, let me be very clear, because I know for sure you're going to have these people, idle men and women, who are usually so quick to misrepresent, misinterpret what you say. I am not accusing NBS Television of any wrongdoing. It's fine. My former workplace, look, they're going to be like, Monica, you're not grateful. That place gave you a job. I'm so grateful for the time I spent on NBS Television or Next Media Services as a whole, as a media conglomerate. And that doesn't stop me from asking questions if I need to. If anything, NBS taught me actually to ask more of those questions. So, having worked there myself, I know the caliber of journalists and investigators they have. I know the professionalism and determination that exists in that newsroom. I know. That is why I believe NBS is uniquely positioned to take this story even further. With them asking a question, where did the van go? What route did it take? Can security cameras, eyewitness accounts, traffic footage, or other investigative tools help reconstruct what happened after Muwanga Kivumbi was re-abducted and driven away? Those are questions. These are kinds of questions investigative journalism exists to answer. So you don't just look on like Mordecai Mrisa, who is just giving commentary from his the comfort of his home studio. No. If anyone has the capacity to piece together that puzzle, I believe NBS Television does have that capacity. And doing so would not only help shine a light on the fate of a public figure who was abducted and is being held incommunicado for more than 2 weeks, but it would also demonstrate the vital role of independent journalism in holding those in authority accountable and giving a voice to those whose rights may have been violated. Like we all know, Muwanga Kivumbi's rights are being violated. So my question, ladies and gentlemen, is, especially for NBS, a very simple one is, where is Muwanga Kivumbi? I hope your newsroom will use its investigative expertise to help public get closer to finding out or getting to know the answer. Hey, Kanari Mugume, I remember you. Remember your days? Tape measure. I think this is the Time for Kanre Mugume. I think I had, had a picture. This is Kanre Mugume in 2019. This is him trying to reconstruct this story and, try to bring you closer to where the events had happened and try to explain. Make sure that you understand. I believe Kanre Mugume or any other investigative journalist in the newsroom can actually use the tape measure as we speak. Where is Muhammad Muwanga Kivumbi? Again, this is an accusation directed at you for doing a thing, but having been there. I'm going to show you the footage that was released exclusively by NBS. Welcome to Mordecai Morisa.
You're watching Mordecai Morisa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with this footage. This is what NBS gave us just a few minutes after Muwanga Kivumbi was abducted. NBS gave us this footage. See, that is NBS logo. If you want to go back here, this is NBS logo. Okay, NBS, what was at the scene? And then you have the police pretty much providing the reabduction of a deputy president of a party. See, then you have, we need to know who this gentleman is. This guy is the one who is telling them, hey, we have him now, come. Look at these jackbooted thugs. He's the one who signaled him, hey, we have him. You have these, again, with guns. Look at this. This is a deputy president of the largest opposition political party. If he's going to be abducted by jackbooted thugs, by goons in broad daylight, police being overpowered or actually facilitating the reabduction, we are in a very, very dangerous place. But NBS provided this footage. Now NBS should tell us, where is Muwanga Kivumbi? This is NBS's van right here.
Bosco.
Exactly. Again, we go back here. This is, if you want to make sure that you see this, this is a NBS logo. So they were in that position. So this is why we ask questions over when all these things happened. As NBS explained to us, are there some security cameras? Are they in contact? They might have been followed. Those goons might have been followed by some people. Or is there any traffic footage? Any investigative tool that could be used now to reconstruct what happened. This is pretty much asking NBS Television to do their job. This is not an attack on my former workplace. It is unbelievable. Because I'm going to have to show you here the spokesperson, the worst police spokesperson in the history of Uganda. I want to argue he was busy laughing when he was questioned. This is what Bobby Wine posted and said, the mocking, evil tone with which the police spokesperson responds to a question about our deputy president who was abducted by operatives 17 days ago and still missing to date. He even has the audacity to laugh as he talks about such terrible situation. And then he goes on to say, time was going to come. Look at his stupid face. Look at his stupid face, laughing at the abduction.
No, nja kusooka n'ekya Muwanga Kivumbi ekyo tujja kuba tubategeeza mu budde bwe tunaaba tubategeerezaamu. So musooke mutuleke ku ekyo.
How do you say that? Oh, we shall inform you whenever, when we feel like we want to tell you. Give us some time. Time for what? Okay, this actually confirms the reports that Muwanga Kivumbi was tortured after re-abduction, and fear of him being availed in his extremely vulnerable state. They are sort of treating him, giving him treatment so that he's, brought back to the general public. Why are you telling us, oh, we shall inform you? What do you mean? At first he denied. Oh, we don't know. And now that he cannot hide because there's footage that proves to the contrary, his claims, oh, I don't know why he is. Police actually facilitated the abduction of Muwanga Kivumbi. Now is, we shall tell you, as he smiles. I think I actually had a video here. Or was it this one? Yeah, look at what he says, ladies and gentlemen.
For Muwanga Kivumbi, we shall give you feedback on this matter when it is appropriate.
When is it appropriate? What do you mean? It is already appropriate. His rights are being violated. He's been held incommunicado for more than 48 hours that are provided for in the Constitution. It is more than 2 weeks. What do you mean by appropriate? Do you have the same meaning of these words like I do? It is past appropriate. You should be apologizing to the nation. Be like, hey, we are sorry. Our men abducted Muwanga Kivumbi. And we are trying to make sure that, I don't even know the right words to use here, because what would be some sort of a justification for failing to avail this man to us, telling us why he is? This is a time bomb. These people are pushing the Ugandan people to an extremely, extremely dangerous place. I don't know where you will hide your face, where. I don't know what you will say, but the Ugandan people are going to do something dangerous. This is not me endorsing that danger, but I'm telling you this is what happens. This is what happens. When all peaceful strategies are curtailed, are muzzled, are blocked, people usually choose violence. That's just nature. That's the natural order. You're pushing people to choose what they're not supposed to be choosing. I don't know what they'll say. I don't understand. I want to tell you this, I don't know. How do these people justify these actions? Having known the history of our country, the criminal regime they defend ascended to power as a result of convincing the Ugandan people that there was no way a free and fair election was going to be organized under the supervision or presiding over Obote and Tito Okello Lutwa. So they said, hey, there were no peaceful means. So that's why we got guns and launched a war. What are they going to say if the same people in 2026 use the same strategy and we shed blood? Will they say, oh, we didn't know? Will they say, oh, I was being put on a gunpoint? What would be their defense? If we see bloodshed in Uganda again, what would be their defense? Because they will be 100% responsible.
At some point. So for now, I have no comment.
Why don't you have no comment? We're talking about former member of parliament, honorable, in the true sense of the word. We're talking about deputy president of the largest opposition political party. We're talking about a darling of the people. What do you mean you tell us at an appropriate time?
No, nja kusooka n'ekya Muwanga Kivumbi ekyo tujja kuba tubategeeza mu budde bwe tunaaba tubategeerezaamu. So musooke mutuleke ku ekyo. Then waliwo alese ekya Ssemujjunganda. Ssemujjunganda mulaba atwitinga bulijjo. Tanaba ku complainingako nti waliwo amunoonya. So tuleeta Ssemujjunganda mu mboozi ezitaliiwo.
It is sad. It is really, really sad to look at ostensibly educated men, adults, really offering themselves to serve the worst regimes. It's unbelievable. Okay, what else did I want to show you? You know, the same guy, remember when they attacked Bobby Wine? I think I'm going to do a separate video about this man. He's the worst police spokesperson in the history of Uganda. Look, I wasn't a fan of Enanga Fred, but Enanga Fred had, again, a semblance of calm. He wasn't arrogant. He had a calm tone, even when he was telling lies. Chituma Rusoke is arrogant, is stupid, and is a bully. Those are not ad hominem attacks. Those are not pejoratives. That's what you see. Remember when they beat up Bobby Wine supporters in Gulu? Remember what he said?
But UPDF officers began to randomly beat people who were moving with Kyagulanyi.
Who does that? I mean, if you see such kind of atrocities being committed, I would argue the first thing you say is, I want to apologize on behalf of the Uganda Police Force for the sins we saw. We have launched an investigative team that's going to come to a conclusion on what happened, on what transpired. You know, he was joking and, you know, talking about it lightly. Look at this mayhem. Like the military was beating up people indiscriminately. This includes bodyguards of Bobby Wine that had been given to him by the Electoral Commission. Our junior security organs have been rendered useless in the face of these goons and thugs from Muhoozi. The moment they're given orders from Muhoozi and Museveni, they have no respect whatsoever for junior officers. And these are not a representation of the people in the UPDF. I know these men and women who value, who love Uganda, who serve Uganda, who patriotically love Uganda. But these goons, at the time of reckoning, they will answer questions.
Kyagulanyi's private bodyguards and police officers who were deployed to guard him by the Electoral Commission shielded him as they endured the beatings. Some of them surrendered.
Look at this police officer. Bodyguard was given to him by the Electoral Commission. Some of them surrendered. You see him surrendering. And then you had this guy. At a time when this event happened, these unfortunate events happened, police denied knowledge of this guy who is covering his face with a handkerchief. Now we're finding out that his name is Drexon Muhimbera. Police hasn't investigated. They don't have him arrested. Chituma Rusoke said he's never seen him. He doesn't know him. Then arrest him. I think I had a footage here where this is what he said.
Culpable.
Ate ku ky'omusajja ono eyabadde ayambadde
That goon.
ebyambalo bya bulijjo nga kyeyolekanga nti ye yabadde awa ebiragiro eri ab'ebyokwerinda. Rusoke amwegaanye bw'ategeezezza nti tamumanyi.
Nze simumanyi naye bweba nga mwagala kumumanya tuyina general inquiry file egenda.
What's going on here? And again, police did not respond recently. You know, Bobby Wine shared up the details about this man. If I can go through his tweets recently, Bobby Wine shared more details about him. Where's this guy? Yeah, he's right here. You know, he's right here. He said, regime operatives disguise themselves and commit heinous crimes against, I think, I don't know whether you're able to read that. I saw people complaining. Mordecai, some of us watch using our phones. We need to have a clear reading of what you usually show us. Okay, I think you can see that. Regime operatives disguise themselves and commit heinous crimes against us, convinced that the world will simply move on and forget them. Take, for instance, this Drexon Muhimbura, a military officer under police and military protection. Muhimbura led the gang that savagely attacked and grievously wounded us during our presidential campaign in Gulu last year. He thought his identity would remain a mystery forever, only for one of his fellow thugs to casually blow his cover. Muhimbura is now desperately begging for the post to be deleted. Since social media has become our public archive, let us keep these images here. 2. When the time is right, these are the criminals to be held to account or accountable. This is the guy. And you know, his friend posted this. My brother, Dexter, blah, blah. My pride serving Uganda. Thank you for disciplining those NUP charlatans. They deserved more strokes than you offered them. Imagine that. They're bragging about violating people's rights. And then you have here, if you want to read here, this is Drexon came and says, delete the post if you don't mind. Delete the post if you don't mind, bro. And then Captain Ashraf Rubangangura Agaba says, Rga Amasha, they're just barking dogs. He's referring to people as cow dung, cow poop. It's like, Rga Amasha, ignore that cow poop. They're just barking dogs, they cannot bite. That's what he's saying. Time is coming. And now that's not me actually saying, oh, I want this time to come. No, that's the laws of nature. Let me show you here. See this? Tape measure. The moment I release it from my hand, it's going to fall. Do you know why? Because I am violating the law of gravity. It is not, if I say, oh, this is going to fall, it is not me wanting it to fall. The moment I release it, I've already violated the law. It's going to happen. Okay? There's no way. I cannot change it. The moment I release it, it doesn't matter whether I cry, I scream, it doesn't matter. It's going to fall. That's me violating the law of gravity. So the law of gravity you're violating. Remember, go back and read, find out why Tupac Shakur had tattoo on his stomach. Do you know the tattoo, what it says? Thug life, which meant the hate you give little infants F's everybody. The hate you're sowing among the Ugandan people will hurt you. I'm sorry, but it's coming. It's coming. Hear me today, quote me tomorrow. You'll be like, hey, Mordecai said it. I'm not a psychic. I'm not clairvoyant. I don't have any special powers. No, it's just laws of nature. Everyone can see what's going to come, what's going to befall you. NBS Television, where is Muwanga Kivumbi? This is not an accusation. This is me asking you now to launch investigative reports about this. It happened in your presence. You got the resources. You got the manpower. You got everything it takes. You got the people who are good at this. Let's go to work. Be a Kanare Mugume. You know what Kanare Mugume did? That's what all I'm asking for. This is Canary. Yeah, please.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.